Hey everyone, and welcome to the 80th episode of We're All in the Same Boat. I'm your host, Luke Roxwold, and today I am here with Shayne.
Woo, what's up?
And Michael.
Hello there.
And as always, you can check us out on
Seinfeld?
SoundCloud.
SoundCloud. Michael, why don't you tell them where they can check us out?
You can check us out on YouTube. No, not YouTube. iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher. It used to be YouTube. iClouds. Dang, this is hard.
Oh, no.
iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Google Play.
It's all downhill from here.
Yeah.
And
Shayne, why don't you tell them about our Instagram?
Yeah, you can follow us on Instagram. I believe it's WAIS.
Nope.
I don't know. I don't do the Instagram.
WAITSB podcast. We're all in the same boat.
Yes.
I feel like the respect points are going up just a little bit. It's like,
I understand what Luke goes through. We're always like yelling and like talking to him like, hey, like while he's doing it, he's like, hey, I'm trying to do this.
Trust me, I know. That's on my podcast. I have a script because I can't remember all the stuff to say.
yes, you can follow us on Instagram at WAITSB Podcast. That's where we do polls and questions and posts.
Yeah,
That's the best way to contact us and participate with us. Also, you can go to the iTunes app, search We're All in the Same Boat, scroll all the way to the bottom and hit 5 stars. If you don't hit 5 stars, just leave. Don't do what I just said.
Oh.
Yeah. 5 stars or nothing.
Yeah. There's only
You
one
can say whatever you
option.
want
It's
as long
fine.
as you give us 5 stars. You can be like, this is the worst podcast ever. 5 stars.
Yes.
Well, please don't do that. Michael,
But you
Don't do that. But
it's like, that's funny. Shut up, Michael. So, what else? Something else. No, that's it. Give us the reviews and, enjoy the episode. We are going to talk about a variety of things. As always, tweet at us or message us on Instagram. Once again, WAITSB Podcast. Guys, welcome to the podcast. What's the weather like in Virginia?
it's
Like 60
hot.
degrees today.
It's so
What?
Yeah.
warm.
It's been
It's
warm.
ridiculous.
Warm. It's
Yeah,
February.
I know.
I
It's
know.
weird. I'm
All of
worried
my
about the
kids, all of my kids at school think it's summer. They say it's like summer. I'm like, no, it's not like summer. If anything, it's like
Close that on. It's
spring.
cold outside.
But
Like, it's summer. Shut up. Do your homework.
well, no, we've been going outside a lot because it's just been so nice. So that's been fun.
60 degrees out. Is it sunny?
Yeah. It's nice.
Sunshine.
What
it's
in the
nice.
world?
Yeah,
It's
nice, beautiful
February.
weather.
February in Seattle.
My friend's in. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
What about your friends? Tell me about
He's
your
in
friends.
He's in California right now, talking about how cold it is.
Cali.
And I'm like, I'm in Virginia right now, like, and it's amazing. He lives here. He went on vacation to get to the warm California. He's like, it's freaking cold here. It's like 60 degrees back in Virginia.
That's what you get.
You done
Joke's
messed
on
up,
him.
son. You done messed up.
Done messed
Well, if you
up.
think it's cold
Yeah.
in California, if you go up a little bit further north, it is very cold up here in Seattle. And I think that February is like our coldest month. It is 20 degrees out
Gross.
and snowing. It does not snow here very often, just for those of you who are wondering.
Really?
Yeah. Which I know
Guess
is
it's too
weird
humid?
because it's so high up. You'd think it'd snow a lot, but it actually doesn't snow that much here. It doesn't get that cold. But it's cold right now. And I didn't actually go into work on Monday or Tuesday because there was so much
What?
snow. And
Dude,
wow,
snow day.
a work skipper.
no, I mean,
Gotta call out.
I worked at home, but it's like because Seattle is snowy and cold, but sometimes warm enough for the snow to melt, it makes everything into ice. And there are hills everywhere in Seattle. So there's just cars just sliding around. You know how like in Virginia,
no.
whenever it snows, everyone decides that like
Panics.
we got to get bread.
Whenever any kind of
And
weather happens,
milk.
we freak out.
Yeah,
It's
let's
raining.
not talk about.
It's
Let's
snowing.
not talk about the last time
Why
There
is
are
it
clouds.
why is it bread and milk? I don't understand.
because
don't
bread
know.
and milk are so good.
They are good.
Together?
I think it's like
No,
maybe
not
that's like all the
together.
nutrients you need because you get carbs from the
Yeah,
bread
from the
and
bread,
like fat and protein from the milk.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Jinx. I don't know. But then milk goes bad quickly, so if the power goes out, then your
Well,
milk's
that's why you
gone.
drink
You should get
Why
bread
is your
and
milk
cheese.
going bad?
Unless it
Drink your
snows.
milk, Michael.
Because then you
But
just
if
put
the power
the
goes
milk,
out, you gotta save the
just,
milk.
You just put the milk in the snow.
That's true.
Ooh.
See? Hacked.
But
Unless it's like a hurricane, though.
Yeah, as I was saying, it's usually a hurricane in Virginia. We don't get enough snow to cool off anything.
That's true.
What? Yeah, that's I'm praying for no snowpocalypse this year.
So I was talking to somebody about the issues with snow and why it can be very frustrating. So I actually am going into work on Saturday to try and get a few extra hours in.
Oh, man.
And it's going to snow again, which means I might not actually be able to get into the building. And on top of it, because when you drive in the snow, it's dangerous.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
not
Is it?
Everyone
always-
freaks out.
yes.
Is it? The people in Virginia wouldn't know that. So please inform them.
Everyone in Virginia is like, no, it's fine. We can drive just normal. And then as soon as they get out in the snow, they're like, whoa,
What's happening?
No, but I was explaining to someone that the reason I don't like driving in the snow what I'm afraid of, one is other people. Because other people just
Yeah.
being insane. But the other thing I don't like, especially in Seattle, is because there's hills, sliding is so unbelievably more scary than just crashing.
You're just like, I'm gonna slide. I'm never gonna stop.
Because when you crash, like every single crash out there that exists, it's like, whoa, bam, immediate, just mistake, bam, you hit something, right? When you slide, it's like 5 minutes of you like, no! Like your car is on the hill and then you start to slip and you push the brakes, nothing happens. And you're sliding at like 1 mile an hour, just like, no! Like there's nothing you can do.
You have
And
so much
so-
time to think about how you messed up.
And you're like, I must be able to do something. You're like pulling all the levers on the car, pushing the brakes, and there's nothing, and you're just slowly moving towards like a pole, and you can't do anything about it. And so so the crash, instead of lasting for 2 seconds, like bam, it's like a minute of just I'm crashing.
That's awful.
And so I'm afraid
You're
of
just slowly
that.
dying.
Yes. It's like, well, because it's so slow. You ever see those videos on YouTube where the car is just, it's just going, and people are like, no, it's just sliding.
Yeah.
Oh. So
Yeah,
snow
that's true.
is awful. I don't care what anyone says.
It is.
I'd rather have
Dude.
a hurricane.
One
I
time,
think everyone should agree that snow is awful if you have to travel in it.
yeah, playing in it's awesome.
Yeah. But if you have to travel, it's the worst thing ever.
Dude,
Yes.
one time my family was driving up to New York to visit my grandma. My mom was driving, and my mom's amazing. She's the one that's
Let's
My
start
mom-
with that.
Well, she's amazing.
Well,
she's
first of
not-
all, she's great. But second of all, she really sucks sometimes.
Yeah, she's not great on road trips. She gets really stressed out,
Oh, no.
and like, I don't know. So we're riding up this hill. It's like so snowy. We can't we're just on snow. There's no road, and we're going up
Oh.
a mountain. There is a guardrail. That's it. And so we're going up at like 25 miles an hour. And my mom, for some reason, thought she figured if she drove where the grippy things are on the side of the road, that it'd give her more traction. But they're full of ice, so that didn't help at all.
Oh, the little
So-
things that make the noise when you drive off the road.
Yeah, the rumble strip. That's what it's called.
Right.
So
Okay. Ooh.
we're driving.
Michael,
Yeah,
I did not know that's what that was called.
Fancy. Me either.
Learn something new every day. My neighbor worked for VDOT. I think he taught me
That's
that
not
when I was
true.
a kid.
A rumble strip.
Wait.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe.
When
We'll
I'm
call it that
driving
for
with
now.
someone and they start weaving off the road, I can be like, "You're hitting the rumble strip."
Excuse
As I
me.
push my glasses up.
I know.
Pull out some
nerd.
glasses and put them on your face. So anyway, we're going mega slow, and people are telling my mom how to drive, and she's getting more frustrated, which I understand
Oh
that.
no.
So she kind of gets annoyed, and I don't remember exactly what happened, but we start just sliding sideways into the guardrail, and we're all just like, ah, ah mom, turn oh, and then we just kind of the car just gently rests against the guardrail, and we're just okay, and we just went forward and kept going, kept putting along. But it was exactly like you talked about. As you were telling your story, I was just thinking about that.
It's so funny to me though, the idea of just a slow. It's like when I've had moments where maybe someone knocks a glass over. And
Yeah,
the
and
glass just rolls, and it's rolling towards the edge of the table, and I'm like, I can catch it. Oh, well, it's too late. Well, actually, it's not too late. Well, now it's too late.
Yeah.
Oh, no, and then it falls,
Yeah,
Where
you're
it's
looking
like
at
the
you're
entire...
you're thinking about all the things you could do, and you're just sorry. Go ahead.
The entire time the glass is rolling, my brain is going, you could have caught it by then. You could have caught it by then. You could have, and it's just like a whole timeline of mistakes of how I could have stopped that glass, and then eventually it falls and breaks.
It all happens so fast and then so slowly.
Yeah. And then actually that happens with I've had that happen with it happens with glasses when people knock glasses off of things.
Mm-hmm.
And then it happens when people are about to spill something. Like if they're holding their coffee or something and I know it's going to spill, I'm like, no, and then it's too late, you know?
Yeah. Well, like you see it kind of happening and you're like, you kind of know, oh, it's going to fall. But you're also kind of like, oh, it'll probably be fine. Like you're not really sure yet. You don't want to cause a scene. And then as it falls more, you're thinking more about like going to go like jump over and get it. And then by the time you decide to get it, it's too late. That's usually what happens to me.
Your brain is like, I've committed. If I jump to save this, it's too late.
Exactly. Like I'll see, because also it's usually someone else's thing that you notice. If it's yours, you either notice it or you don't right away. But like it'll be someone else about holding something and they're dropping it, and you're like trying to think, like I don't want to make them think I don't think they know what to do, but also like I should help them. Like
actually, yeah, I've had that before where
just reaching my hand out. Oh.
People find it so annoying for some reason when I do too. This is not excluding me. When other people tell them that they're doing something wrong or if it's going to hurt them or whatever. It's like for some reason people don't like that. And so it's like...
It gets a little annoying.
If you're going to like light... Oh, this happens in the car. I never know how to tell someone, by the way, that person over there is going to run into your car. Or like, you know, like if someone's crossing the road, like in a stupid way. So like maybe the person's driving and someone is crossing the road in a spot that they're not supposed to at a time that they're not supposed to. And so my brain goes, if I was the one driving, I would not look left to see that stupid moron that's crossing in the wrong place. So if I was driving, I would probably run that guy over. And I would wish that someone would tell me that guy is there. That's what my brain does. And so then I'm sitting in the passenger seat and I'm like, whoa, watch that guy right there. And then as soon as I say that, it's a you said I heard. They hear me say, you don't know how to drive. Make sure you look where you're going. And I'm like, I don't know how to warn you without, you know.
I usually kind of say like, oh, watch out for that guy, which might be kind of annoying. And if they complain, I'm like, hey, I just want to live.
And then they're like, why you gotta be so passive aggressive, Michael? Why do you think I can't?
I just leave it at that. I'm like, I don't care what you want. I just want to stay alive, and I want you to stay alive. Because if you stay alive, I'll probably also be alive.
That's true. Have you ever thought about that? Like if you sit on a certain part of the car, that if the driver gets into a wreck, he or she is more likely to protect themselves. So you want to be on a certain side of the car.
Yeah, it's like in The Office. Dwight sits behind Jim when they're driving somewhere, and he says that exact thing. And
really?
Jim just like slams on the brakes, and like Dwight's face hits his chair in front of him.
I actually remember that episode.
He's like, Ron, this is the safest part of the vehicle. And Jim's like, oh, really?
All right, so Shayne, we're gonna keep this short, one sentence.
Yes.
I know that's difficult. Kingdom Hearts 3. How is it? Did you finish it?
I don't understand that I'm not ever prepared for these questions. I would have one sentence answers if I was prepared for these questions. But
You're
yes,
like, I need time to come up with one sentence.
I have played through the main story, and it was very exciting. It was very thrilling. It took me about 30-ish, between 30 and 35-ish hours, and it's great. I definitely recommend it to... I don't want to spoil anything. I don't know when's the time limit when spoilers are okay, but...
It's like a year. I don't know.
Yeah, that's not happening. I'm probably going to post something like in a couple days. But yeah, I would definitely recommend the game if you're a fan of the series, you probably have already bought it. It's actually the fastest selling game in the series to date, which is pretty cool that people still care all this time later. But if you're new to the series, I definitely, you have to play all the games. I'm so sorry, or you at least have to watch the movies that come in the complete set, but it's totally worth it because it's a great game and a great time. So yeah, that's what I have to say. And it's beautiful. The graphics, stunning.
Oh yeah, dude, Square Enix has always looked good. They've always looked better than like everything else.
So yeah, but Kingdom Hearts has always been on the low grade side, but this time around it was like, wow,
amazing. What were you gonna say, Luke?
Did it live up to your expectations?
Well, I did not have expectations. It lived up to the excitement that I had for it. Yes. The one negative thing I will say is that I'm on the fence about some of the Disney worlds that were used. Some of them I felt were used pretty well, and others I felt weren't kind of necessary. They could have done something else, or they could have just picked a better world to more fit the game. But I
gotta get
understand.
the licensing in there.
Huh?
They gotta get that licensing in there.
Yeah, but no, it's just what they did with the stories. Like some of the worlds are just basically you're just doing the movie plot, and then some of them they're kind of intertwined a little bit with the main story, and so that's why some Disney worlds just stand out more than others as. But yeah, beautiful game. Cool.
Still good, even a week later.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Well, Shayne, I'm glad that you're not coming back in here like, I'm going to go destroy Disney. You know? Like angry. Wait, who made that game? Was it Disney?
Square Enix and Disney, yes. I will say though, I did see the secret ending. I did get that unlocked, and all I will say is that I am very ready for Kingdom Hearts 4 or whatever the next
There's a
thing
Kingdom
is.
Hearts? Well, you'll be 40.
I don't know. No. I hope we don't go through what we went through.
Shayne, we're gonna be 40.
I don't think they can do that again. That no more. The guy who creates the game will be dead. But yeah. So I'm very excited for the next, whatever the next part of the story is. I think I have an idea, and it's probably going to be the most exciting chapter. No, it has to come out. They've set it up. They've set it up way too much. It has to come.
Didn't they set up Kingdom Hearts 3 and Kingdom Hearts 2?
They set up Kingdom Hearts 3 in almost all the games. Yeah.
See?
Looks like, didn't they do this before? Yep.
Yeah, really. It's like, no, they'll never.
But
it's like they'll say
that,
no.
You say that
it's like,
without context.
it's like someone who says, oh no, they lied before, but like that was before. They're not lying now, and it's like, didn't they say they wouldn't lie last time they lied? That's true. I rest my case.
You say that without context.
I know. I've never played any. I don't think I've ever even watched the gameplay of any of these games ever.
Insane.
I know.
You're missing out on a beautiful part of life.
I'm sure. Just like Michael has been missing out on the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah. Dude, nice sound effect. Dude, it's amazing. This is the first video game system I've bought since the GameCube, for context of everybody.
And the GameCube is like 1,000 years old.
Yeah.
Hey.
So,
best Nintendo system.
It is one of the best, I think.
I thought the GameCube was ahead of its time, really.
Most innovative, yeah, I would say most innovative.
But and also, speaking of GameCube, I got like this new game. It's a GameCube controller that works as a Switch Pro controller. So it works with any game that uses a Pro controller on the Switch. Which
I
is
don't
awesome.
understand. That's the one thing I don't understand about Nintendo. Is they always come out with these new systems and then no one ever wants to use their stupid new controllers. People have been using GameCube controllers forever. That's all people use.
It's really good.
Innovation.
I know, but it's like Smash Brothers Wii. I've never seen anyone play that with the controllers on the everyone uses GameCube controllers. You're like, why are people using the old controller? They've had to make specific
GameCube controllers for every system, so people can use them.
Dude, yeah, so I mean, they got it right with the GameCube controller. I think it's just like really ergonomic. It fits in your hand really nicely.
It's nice. It's colorful.
Yeah, I do like the colors. I'm not gonna lie. It's super cool. Like the buttons are
just big and huge.
Yeah, and they also kind of played it around their games. Like most of their games use A and B the most, so they made those two the most accessible buttons. And Y and X are usually like extra abilities or something.
Oh, extras. Sorry, never mind.
Yep.
Extra abilities. Y.
No, it's just like X is extra and Y is Ystra. Sorry.
But
sorry. I just
sweet.
heard you say it, man.
I was just playing Super Smash Brothers in the bathroom before I got on the podcast, which is like
because the Switch is the one with the portable. Like, I'm just gonna pick up the system and take it with me.
Yeah, you just pick it up out of the TV dock and just go play it. Dude, the day I got it, I spent probably like 10 hours in total playing like Super Smash Bros. And Legend of Zelda.
Oh, I wish that was my life.
Breath of the Wild is amazing.
That's the latest Zelda, right?
Yeah.
What's the last Zelda you played?
Before that, probably Twilight Princess, which was 2010, which was also amazing. I played a little bit of. What other Zelda games came out between those two?
I played. Know. This is why we need Brent and John back on the podcast.
We need the real nerds.
Yeah, I'm like a fake nerd.
I'm a nerd. I'm a little bit nerdy about lots of things.
You're a nerd when it comes to specific things. Being a nerd is very broad thing.
I'm a very specific kind of nerd.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't play a lot of video games.
I'm looking it up.
The hardest thing for me with these newfangled games is this is kind of frustrating about Breath of the Wild because it's an open world now. So like I can go anywhere at any time and do anything, which is really cool because you can explore whatever you want. But the problem is you don't know where you should go.
You don't know where to go.
And it takes me like hours to do anything because everywhere I go. So part of the game is weapons like don't last forever. They break after you use them for a while. So you're constantly looking for weapons and like you can get food items to like boost your abilities or give you hearts.
It encourages exploration. There's nothing wrong with that.
Which is cool.
There's a ton of DS games.
But every time I go anywhere, like it takes me like an hour to get through each like area because I'm just looking everywhere for items. Because before the game would give you items if you like it would give you the items that you needed by playing the game, and you could explore some and find the other ones. But it makes it take longer to play the game. Like I played the game for like probably 10 hours so far, and I've beaten the first quest. That's it. It takes a long time, but it's super fun.
Man,
really cool.
There was one point in my life, like I said this, it was like I turned like 17 and then video games just went away forever. And I just lost interest. They just went away. I don't know. It was like puberty where all of a sudden everything just changed and it was just gone. And so like, you know how like when you're young and then all of a sudden you got interested in girls, like things just changed.
Yeah.
And then it just never went away. Like you started liking girls and it never went away. It's kind of like that. It's like my interest in video games just went away and it never came back.
I think it's more the interest came and then the drama never went away.
But it's like I just never got back into video games. And there was at one point in my life, it was probably like 2012, whenever Skyrim came out. And I was like, all right, Skyrim, Oblivion, these games, they got swords and physics and stuff. I feel like I would like this game. I should play this game. So I put the game in.
I love swords and physics.
I love physics. I love games with physics. And so I put the game in. I started playing. I talked to a few people and got so frustrated that it took forever to get a sword. And I just ran around the cave and I turned it off and I never played it again. I was like, I don't want to be in this stupid cave anymore. And I was just walking around. And then my friend is like, oh, you have to go talk to this guy and learn about his past before you can. I don't want to learn whoever this. I don't care who he is. Like, I just want to go do things. Like, I don't like. Some people like the story. It's so weird. I don't. I don't want any story. I just want to jump in the game.
I like a good mix. And with Breath of the Wild, you can get what do you want a balanced
Why would you
version?
like that?
Like Breath of the Wild has a lot of story.
Depth to your game. What?
But there is like you do just start playing, like even though like it's confusing and stuff.
But see, like I like games more like Call of Duty, where it's like you put the game in, start the game you're playing, boom. You don't have to watch a movie. I'm just like,
Luke doesn't
as
like
soon as I start
games.
the game,
Luke's a lame.
I know, I know, but it's so funny too because I like Rocket League.
He doesn't like story. He doesn't like plot.
Yeah, it's like as soon as the game starts. And like one video just starts, it's like 1 second into the video of a cutscene. I'm like pushing X, like skip. I want to get to the game. Let's go. Come on, I want to play. I don't want to watch a movie.
I do feel you.
Like, appreciate.
I mainly play games for like social reasons. Like I like playing Super Smash Bros. Because you get a bunch of friends together and I'll play. But like, I don't. Sorry, someone just called me and I lost my train of thought. Social reasons, games.
You're playing. Wait, is it gone?
Yeah,
is it just gone?
Yeah, I hung up on them.
It's just gone.
Social reasons.
Is your story gone?
Games. Oh yeah, but here's the thing about this is kind of like what Luke's saying. I don't like video games that involve work. Like a lot of games take work. You got to put in like hours and hours and hours.
Especially when people like hate it. They're like, I just have to keep playing the same level over and over again to grind through it. And you're like, dude, you hate the game. Stop playing it.
I don't understand completionist.
Yeah,
I
dude,
have a friend doing that right now.
Dude, Brent plays the same game like 27 times to get every single mode. Like, he plays like every mode of the game that exists and like tries to get every item. Like,
they know
like
the
Skyrim, you have to put in the work to like get money and buy things. Like, you have to actually like, get a job or something in the game and like grind to acquire enough rupees to purchase a sword.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, I'm playing video games to like not
RPGs.
work. Like, I work. And I go home and I work in my video game.
Yeah. I work in real life to get money I can use in real life. And it's like, you work in the game that you don't enjoy to get money that you can enjoy in the game. But it's like, I don't know. Maybe I think it's maybe a little hypocritical to view it totally like that. But to not enjoy it, where it's like, I hate playing this game.
I mean, that's just
I just want to be able to buy the sword.
But also a lot of games, there's more work now. Like, even Pokemon Go, you had to like walk to like hatch your egg and like capture like 1,000 of the same Pokemon.
Did you guys play that?
But you also had to capture like a billion.
I played it in its prime, yes.
I liked it. It was fun. But also you had to capture like a bunch of the same Pokemon to level up. That's like annoying work. It's not like, oh, I get to like play this game a bunch and like my character will level up. It's like, no, I gotta do these outside things. I gotta, like other games, I gotta go to work, make some money so I can go buy this game, so I can go to work and make some virtual money in my game. Like, it's too much, man.
It's like an exchange for an exchange for an exchange.
Yeah.
So I can get some real money, so I can go get fake money.
Dude, that's how it is, man. People spend tons of money on pay-to-play games. That's what we should. That'd be a good topic someday.
Oh,
like
pay-to-play
games, dude.
Pay to win.
Both of those suck. Pay to win is probably more common, but
it's so funny though, because if I made a video game, I would 100% make it pay to win.
Yeah, dude, you make so much money.
Exactly.
It's like I was playing. I downloaded this game, and
you want to cheat? Fine, pay me money. You can cheat.
I watched a YouTube video about it, and it was like, yeah, this game is free, but like, be prepared. Like a lot of the DLC is like $30 for like this many of this item that you can just get in the game if you just like play it for like an hour. Like, what the heck? It's crazy.
Yeah, but do you want to pay an hour or pay $30?
Yeah. Well,
it's a currency, man. Time is a currency.
If you make less than $30 an hour, that's a bad deal. But if you make more than $30 an hour, it's a good deal.
Kinda. I mean, like, yeah, sort of.
If you think of your whole life as work.
Well, it's like, don't exactly. Because it's like, if it was like, oh, I don't make $30 an hour, but my evening time spent with my family is worth more to me than $30 an hour, then I'll pay the $30 and get the item and then go spend time with my friends or something.
Or just be a grown man and stop playing video games and go with your family.
No, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
It's like, it's about priorities.
It's just weird.
You know what, Michael? You're weird. Are you playing Smash Brothers?
That's how I know.
Yeah, Michael, you're
not right
weird.
now, but I was right before I got on the podcast.
Yeah, I was going to say, because everyone in the podcast chat right now is talking about Smash Brothers, and I have just toned it out because I don't play video games anymore.
Dude, you should get a Switch. You should guys both get a Switch. So we can all play Smash Bros. Together.
I want a Switch, and I want Smash Brothers, and I would love to have that experience, but it's probably not happening anytime soon. So,
well, Shayne, you can do 2-player. Like, we can have 2 players on one Switch playing online together. So you and I could play against the rest of the podcast, like from my house.
Wait a minute. Let me
see true.
Oh, the Switch is like $300.
It is.
Yeah, Luke, it is. Are you mad? I'm just kidding.
Are you mad? Yeah, dude, I'm mad. Way to go, Nintendo.
I got kind of a good deal because the Switch has not gone on sale, and like I had a friend who worked at GameStop. He was like, dude, I can get you some discounts. You can buy like used systems with the discount, but not like new systems. Yeah. But I got some games and like a controller with a discount, so I saved a little bit of money. I thought about buying the Switch used, but I don't like buying big things used because I have bad luck with even new items just not working.
It's not used; it's refurbished. That's the way to go.
Here's the thing, though. Okay,
the only one they had had a cracked screen though. So
if you pay,
just kidding. Never mind. That's crap.
If you pay $300, yeah. If you pay $300 for a Switch, it's like $300 is a lot of money. It's like, yeah, but if you play it multiple times for multiple hours and it entertains you for a long, long time, it's probably worth $300. The problem is I would pay $300 and play it one time and then never play it again.
Unless we make it tradition to always play together every week. I don't know.
I just don't like it. I don't know why.
Tradition. It's okay. They're not for everyone. Everything's not for everyone. Don't feel bad.
Anytime I play video games,
you're missing out on Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, by not buying the Switch, because we all know it's for the Switch. Am I right? Up top. It's not for the Switch.
I do want a Switch. I do want a Switch. I've wanted a Switch ever since it came out. There's many games on there that I would love to play.
The only reason why I'm not getting a PS4 is all my roommates have PS4s. So
That's right. You got them for free.
Yeah, I can just play theirs.
True that.
Okay.
There are some sweet games for PS4.
The Switch. I'm not gonna buy one. You guys enjoy
Could
yours?
you buy one for me? How about that?
Is Smash Brothers fun? I stopped playing it.
Yeah, Smash Brothers is awesome.
Smash Brothers is the best.
I felt like
Luke.
Melee, they did so much that you could never make another game that would even top it.
Please
Brawl
don't
was
be
really
a
good.
Melee slave.
Melee was so
Slave.
good. Wait, what did you say?
He said, "Don't be a Melee slave."
Well,
The
what are you, a
people who are
brawl
like Melee's the
slave?
best game ever?
Shayne?
No, what I'm saying is you got to give other games a chance. Everyone's just like, "Oh, Melee is the best. There'll never be a better game than Melee."
Yeah,
It's
because
like,
I
there
didn't have to
probably
play Melee with the freaking Wii controller.
You don't have to play.
You don't have to play the Wii one with the Wii controller.
If everyone, no one ever has enough GameCube controllers. Every time I played Brawl, no one had enough. They didn't have the GameCube
You should
controllers.
get better. You should get better friends, or you should do
So
what
the
me and my
community-
friends did: was send someone to GameStop to go buy controllers.
You know what's funny? Last time I played Brawl, everyone brought their own GameCube controllers. We had like 15 GameCube
so
controllers.
stupid.
That's squad.
It's
That's
so
squad
dumb
rules.
to me. Like, I don't know why it's so stupid. It's like, oh, you
'Cause
buy
you
the new
never
system,
experienced it.
and it's like you have to go to the eBay to buy the old
It is
controller
stupid that
to
they do that.
enjoy it.
Yes, it is stupid that they do that.
What's this one? Super Smash Brothers Wii U? Is that what it's called?
That's the last one. This is
Or
Super
sorry,
Smash Bros. Ultimate.
oh yeah, because this is what's it called? Oh no, it's just Smash Brothers, isn't it? What's it called?
Smash Bros. Ultimate. I don't know.
Ultimate.
Yeah, it's just Smash Brothers Ultimate.
They're running out of
It's technically
Luke,
not even.
It's not.
in
Is
the
it not
Smash
Super?
game.
I don't know. They're all the same
Smash
game though. Like
Brothers.
people are
I
like,
think
"Oh,
it's
this game was
Smash.
better." It's like it's the same game. This has
They
more
just
characters
add.
now.
They just add on to stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Super Smash.
I do
Bros.
say
Ultimate.
I will say this one feels different. Like I don't know. It's like I guess it feels smoother.
Because you
which
have
kinda-
everything packed in one.
Yeah, but I mean like the gameplay feels a little different. It feels a little smoother.
Oh yeah.
Like not
It's running on a
necessarily
better
better,
system.
but just feels like more slippery. Like
Like
the
that
graphics are all
frame rate.
smoother, the movements are all smoother.
Like that
The-
60 FPS.
Yeah, you gotta get used to it I guess, a little
Just
bit.
kidding.
Actually, no. Melee was 60 FPS.
What do you know about Melee, you Melee slave?
I know everything about it. So, speaking of, I can't transition. Michael, what's your question?
Wait, side note. Okay, Brent just messaged me about how he's like playing as 30 characters online to do an achievement. He's like, I don't even want to play as these characters, so I'm literally going online as garbage characters and just killing myself for it. Literally what you just said on the podcast. He's not even enjoying himself, but he is playing the same, like every character that he hates to play online just to get this achievement. Which literally an achievement is in the game. You don't usually even get an item. You just get a badge.
It's just like, you got the achievement. It's like, what if you just... The funny part about it, too, is you get those achievements, and it's literally just personal. Like, no one else is going to care. Really.
Yep, exactly.
So it's
And
just
no
like, all it is a certificate saying you did it.
Dude, like literally, like yeah, you can go to a party, be like, dude, I just spent 30 hours like on Super Smash Bros.
Killing
And I
myself with the characters I
the,
hated playing.
Yeah, dude, I got this badge. Like, I finally got it. I'm so stoked. And they're like, oh, cool.
Wait, they don't have Falco in this game?
Oh,
There's no Falco.
Falco. Yes, there's
So it's supposed
every
to have all the
character that's
characters from
ever
every
been
every
in
game.
Smash Brothers history.
Is
Every-
Falco just a version of Fox or something?
Yeah, Falco's
he's-
a bird, dude.
Yeah, I know, but he's not a character on this thing I'm looking at.
What are you talking about, Willis?
What are you looking at?
Is this the actual
He's
game?
in there. He's in Smash Ultimate. He's got to unlock him.
Yeah, every character that is in Smash Ultimate. That's why it's called Smash Ultimate.
Yeah,
What?
Luke.
Fine.
Come on, Luke. He
You
wouldn't know
melee
he's a
slave.
melee slave. That's why he's asking about Falco.
Stop
because,
saying that.
I was a Falco mating. I'm a melee slave.
I played the old game. I played the original. It's not even the original. All right, what's your question,
sequel
Michael?
to-
You said
All
you
right,
had a
here's my
question.
I do have a question. All right.
Do you have
It's
a question?
ethical, apparently.
I
It's
do.
built
It is
up. It's this
ethical.
ethical question that I don't know. This is the first time I will be hearing it live on the
I hope it's
podcast.
good. I'm worried now. Okay.
Oh, no.
All right. So say you worked at a morgue. Okay. You don't work where you work currently. You work at a morgue. Luke Roxwold.
For
and Shayne
reference, I
McCaddy.
would never work at a morgue. So
Well, you do. So say like a rich man who is like a billionaire dies, and his wife asks you to cremate him with $1 million cash.
Oh,
what?
Would you take the money, or would you cremate him with the
What?
money?
So wait, so you work at a morgue and some rich billionaire guy dies, and the wife asks you.
How old is this woman?
Wait, Luke, the wife asks you to cremate her husband with $1 billion. $1
million.
$1 million.
So put it in there with him and burn it.
I don't understand why she would ask that question.
Because he loves his money.
How old is she? She's
like 80.
But why you're burning the money?
Like his dying wish?
His dying wish, was to like be burned with his money.
Freaking Scrooge.
What? Wait a minute.
What?
First of all, I would have a conversation with her, but to answer your question, I would probably take the money because I don't see...
Thank you, Shayne. Okay, first of all, everyone always says no at first, and then they might change their mind. Shayne, I'm proud of you for just
It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
Hold on. Let's think about this. Okay.
Wait, I want to hear Shayne's reasoning first, and then we'll get there. I'm just proud of him for going straight
No, it just doesn't make any sense.
I'm proud of you for stealing the money.
If you're going to cremate him with the money, it means you're burning the money. That means that $1 million is going to waste, right? So I'm going to take the money because most likely... she's not going to know the difference if he got cremated with the money or not, because she's just going to receive the ashes back.
But in your heart...
Yeah,
in my heart, I know that $1 million that he worked hard for isn't going to waste. It can go to things that I need and can benefit me in my life. So,
all right, Luke, what do you think?
But I will have to. I'll save it for later.
Good.
I'll let Luke answer first.
This is like one of those difficult questions because...
Yeah, it is. That's why I ask it.
I don't think it was that difficult. It's a very obvious...
It's not, it's on the surface, it's not that difficult because it's like she won't know.
Yeah, the deeper you get, the harder it gets.
But the one thing that I've been learning a lot lately is about doing quote-unquote evil things. And it's like, so for example, when people tell lies, like when people lie... you'll notice that the more people lie, the more they have to tell lies to kind of cover up their lies.
Yep.
And eventually, if they keep going, they start actually believing the lies that they're telling. And so I try to make it a point to just don't lie ever. Because as soon as you start down that road, you like are tricking yourself into a lifestyle that you don't want, you know? And so then I'm like,
in this case, you're mainly stealing.
And you're lying.
It's fine. But you're mainly stealing, so it fits in your rules.
Well, what would you... Well, so if you stole the money, would you keep the money for yourself? Everything you would buy, you would feel empty inside.
Let me say this. Let me
tell you what I would do. Okay, go ahead.
Why don't you tell us what you would do, Michael?
All right. Can I say what I would actually do? Let me say what I would actually
burn the lady. I'm just kidding.
I answered Michael's question. What I would actually do in real life is I would have a conversation with this lady and explain to her why doesn't make any sense and why
Shayne,
this is not a good idea and why she
Shayne,
Michael's question was
you can't make up an answer and say, but in real life I would do something else.
Well,
no, Luke, because Michael's question was, would I take the money or would I do what you wanted me to do? I answered his question, but what I would actually do...
Though, it's in real life, though.
That was
not fake.
I answered his question. That was a would you rather yes or no question. Like, that's how I answered the question. But what I would actually do is I would conversate with her and be like, lady, this is not a smart idea. Why are you burning money? You want to use Monopoly money instead? It'll give the same effect without wasting $1 million.
Right. And then she's like,
no,
you're insane.
And I'm like,
burn the money.
And great. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I want to go do this. And then I'm going to not burn the money. And then I would come back to her and say, look, I didn't burn the money because this is a bad idea. And then she'd probably have to get my manager or something.
She had $1 billion, right? So then she uses the other 99 million or 900, whatever, the leftover money to hire hitmen to kill you the rest of your life.
So all right, so here's what I would do, because Luke's still on the fence. Let's see what I'll say. So,
and that's such a rich person thing too. No poor person would ever say, "Hey, burn me with money."
Yeah, burn me with $6. Take that Taco Bell combo out of the world.
LOL.
No,
he made $1 billion. I'd be like, burn me with this dollar bill in my pocket.
So all right, so it's funny. I would do what Shayne said. Basically, kind of, I'd be like, hey, like in real life, I'd be like, hey, like you probably shouldn't do this. But if she still wanted to do it anyway, I would go. I'd take the money and I would not put it in the burning thingy, and I would not cremate the money. I would keep the money. But here's my reasoning.
So now it's blood money.
No,
It's the opposite. It's the opposite of blood money.
It's not blood money. He wore gloves. It's clean.
That's right. It's clean money. All right, now how about this though? But change the question so that if you ask, okay, fine.
Wait,
you can't just change the question.
We can change the question in a second. I want it, but like, here's what I'm thinking. So yeah, I would take the money. Like Shayne said, it's a waste of money to take. It's a waste to take all this money out of the economy that could be you put in your community. But
you're doing your part for lowering inflation.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But what I have to think about now though is, like, I gotta make sure I don't get caught, and also I might be a little guilty, so I might have to tell at least one person who I can trust. I'll figure that out later. But what I'm thinking is,
you have a coworker and you split the money.
That's not my coworkers, man. Forget that. Coworkers will betray you in a second, dude. No way.
Well, the way you framed the story was me and Luke worked together, so I thought we were in cahoots on
If you work together, I mean, you guys are already buds. If you're buds outside of work first, you can do it. But anyway, so I would definitely want to donate the money. I'd give something to my church. I would give homeless people $100. I've always wanted to do that. I would definitely do that.
I've always wanted to give homeless people $100.
Yeah. I'm generous. I feel like I'm pretty generous with my money now. I think I would still be generous. You know, people say that when you win the lottery, you don't do what you think you would. Mm-hmm. But so what I'm thinking of though is I gotta deposit the money somehow, or have it electronically so I can buy most things. So I could buy gift cards, and I could deposit money into the bank, but I'd have to do it slowly, like $200 a month or whatever, just a little bit at a time, and keep the money in cash mainly.
Oh yeah, you'd have to launder the money.
Maybe not necessarily launder it, but just kind of hide it and slowly. I guess that's laundering.
That's what I mean. You have to keep it under the radar.
Right. Yeah.
So now you gotta launder the money. I
always thought of laundering as moving money with
Nah, I would go buy Ferraris and big chains. And be like,
then they'll be like, where'd all this money come from?
That's a red flag. You gotta spend smart if you steal $1 million.
I wouldn't actually do that.
Now here's the thing, though.
I know you wouldn't.
Okay, so
all right, Luke, what would you do before you change the question? Answer the first question.
I would keep the money.
That's how it works.
I don't think I could just burn $1 million like that. It'd be like, she's insane. We can't let her be insane and do this. Yeah. But it would be hard to it'd be hard to justify it at a base level because I'm technically stealing. But it's like
you're literally stealing.
How would you justify it? How would you justify it as not being a sin, something wrong? Like a greater good type thing?
Right.
Well, but you can justify a genocide with the greater good argument. So it's how do you justify it?
I mean, that's where ethics come in. Ethics kind of go by the outcome.
And yeah, but you can justify, like I said, you can justify a genocide with that same argument.
Right. Luke, this is how you justify it. You have a family who you need to feed and support, and bills are just piling up. Life's getting hard. You're about to get cut off from work.
Say your mom was in the hospital.
The worst decisions in history were made with the best intentions.
Fine, but you're not in history. You're Luke Roxwold.
Yes.
Those who don't listen, I'm just full of parables. I don't understand. Those who don't follow history are doomed to repeat it.
You learn from history. You don't follow history. If you follow history, you literally will repeat it.
I don't think anyone's been asked to cremate someone with $1 million, so I don't think this thing in history has ever existed to repeat it. So
you're like, this has never happened.
Yeah, so that's how you justify it. You think about your daughter Karen, or whatever her name is.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, her name is not Karen, but you can keep talking about my daughter.
Secret daughter.
And then you think, wow, she just needs a nice prom dress, and I could really use this money for a limo for her to have the best prom of her life.
I get it, but I could say the same thing when I'm robbing a bank.
Yeah, but you're not though. See, that's what ethics is. Ethics is not applying a rule to everything that you do.
Explain yourself.
That's retardation.
What are you saying?
I was saying, all right, yeah, if you steal money in this case, it doesn't mean you're saying you'd steal money in every case. It doesn't mean that you'd commit genocide in every case.
No, I'm saying justifying it by saying the greater good.
Right, but I'm also saying that
the same argument you could use to do anything bad ever.
But Luke, listen. Different situations are different. You don't have to do. You don't have to. You don't have to make a rule and do it in the same way in everything. Yeah, what you're saying, you could justify anything with any weird arguments, especially looking back on history. You could say oh, this helped this random farmer over here when they killed all his neighbors, whatever. But just because one situation has one answer that's kind of sketchy if it was any other way, doesn't mean that's going to influence you to do wrong in other situations, or that it justifies other bad situations.
Well, yeah, in a way, I guess it does make sense. Because I was thinking about it, because like it would be like, why do you hide Jews from the Nazis? It's like you're technically lying to the Nazis. What is the how do you justify that? And it's like, well, I'm protecting the weak.
Right.
That's how I justify it.
It's a big thing. Like the Nazis.
So I also don't think everything can be justified either. I think something.
No, but you could argue your way out of it.
Just the choice you make.
Like in this kind of context. Whatever.
Well, I don't even think everything needs.
If it was like if I wanted the money, if I took the money and the way I justified it by saying I would use this money better than them and buy all these things, it's like, so you technically are stealing because you're thinking of yourself.
Well, you literally would use it better than them because they're burning it.
Right,
so,
but
yes.
I could say that about stealing anybody's money.
You're not thinking about yourself.
Yeah, but
you're thinking about your family.
That's a different situation. You have to think about that differently. Just because you don't have to apply this to every situation.
I haven't thought about it that way, and I don't know how to respond. But it's like,
think about it just in the situation. Think about it in the context of your life.
You're basically saying you can't have any rules. You just have to take everything.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
No, I mean, like, you can't really have a rule.
That's not what I'm saying either. I'm saying.
I think you kind of are.
You're
like every situation is this individual situation, and you shouldn't have an overarching rule because you have to take each situation as it comes.
Well,
so it's like, okay, so you
can have principles, but like, okay, for instance, if someone's like, all right, Luke,
I think
every time you see a red light, you have to stop, and then you go
Yes.
outside, and someone just flashes a red light in the air, you stop. That's a different situation.
Okay, I don't know if that is a good
because there's an
analogy,
implication though of every time there's a red light as a traffic light, you stop,
right.
but you don't verbally say that.
It's a certain context. And also, if you're making the right turn, you can stop and you can keep going. You don't have to stop and wait. There are different applications of rules.
But those are implicit rules in addition to that rule.
Right. But
and
also
I'm saying that there should be something like that probably with this situation.
Well, there are also implicit. It's open-ended question. But there's also implicit consequences to each thing. Some affect things differently, and this is a thing that like a lot of people don't get. Not you, but like just because something is different doesn't mean it's better or worse.
Yes.
And just because you apply something in one situation doesn't mean you have to apply it to every situation. Sometimes you do to be consistent. If you work at a company, you have to set precedents.
This is complicated. Hold on.
But in this question, you're making it more complicated than it is.
It's not complicated.
It's already complicated.
No. I mean, the question is not that complicated. What's complicated is like trying to think of these more broad ethical rules or non-rules. That's what I'm saying is complicated.
Well, yeah, I'm not here to solve ethics. I just want to know if you'd take money from an old lady who wants to burn it.
Who just want to know? Oh, and they're old? Oh, yeah, never mind. Just take the money.
She's like 80. They died of old age.
I'm just
or
kidding.
He died of old age.
I'm just kidding.
But Luke, so would you take the money or not?
Yeah, probably.
He said he would take the money.
What would you do with it? How would you keep yourself from getting arrested?
I don't know. Like, see, that's what's difficult is I would take the money, I think, because I think there is one of those like... Dang it.
Depends on what you do.
The problem is like all the excuses. All the excuses I'm using, I would use to people would use to justify something bad, and so it's hard for me to say honestly, like, what they don't know won't hurt them. Crap. That's what everyone says about everything.
I think the ethics comes in when is how you use the money. I don't think there's anything morally wrong with I'm not going to burn this money. That doesn't make any sense. I'm going to take this money. How you use the money after that is, I think,
it's like a slippery slope type thing.
Because
I know it's not like
a bunch of drugs and smuggle it through Mexico.
It could be like
donate to the Cancer Society that's helping
Luke,
small
it's only a slippery slope
breathe.
if you let yourself make it a slippery slope. Like you still are a grown man who can control yourself.
I don't know that that's true. It's like it's saying if I justify this, then what defense would I have against other people justifying things similar that are wrong?
That doesn't matter. It
doesn't matter.
How does it matter? If you do something and someone else does something that's...
Because then that makes me a hypocrite.
No, it doesn't.
If I say you shouldn't steal from a bank, and then someone says, well, I needed to feed my daughter, and I robbed the bank that had a lot of mafia money in it, and I could use
a different situation.
But it's the same concept.
No, it's not.
It's a different thing.
Why is it not? Why?
It's
why
not
is it
the
different?
same concept. Wait,
Someone is
I
about
got
to throw
this,
something
Michael.
away. Okay, go ahead.
Yes. Oh, well, you were kind of saying the same thing, but it's because when you're robbing a bank, you are setting out with the intention to rob this bank. You are setting out with the intention to do something that is wrong.
Stealing.
Yes, stealing. This you
like
are
$1 million in someone's pocket.
Right. Yes, this you find yourself into a situation where you then are making a decision. You're not going into this. You don't go to the morgue thinking, I'm stealing this man's money today. The situation falls upon you and you make a decision about the situation, which is why I don't think those are two comparable
So
things.
if I found out...
They both are stealing, which I do agree with you. They both are technically stealing, but it's one's an intentional stealing and one's a situational.
Yeah, it's different. I'm not even saying it's always right.
I don't know how different it is. Like, if
different.
I feel like you could make the situation very similar.
You can, if you change the situation.
Yes,
but a situation is a situation.
If your intent is I'm gonna rob this rich guy, then yes.
I mean, either way, Luke, if someone finds out, you're gonna get in trouble. Like, there's no way you can get out of it. I think that's what you're thinking of. There's no way.
No,
that
I'm
someone
not
else
thinking.
Gonna look at this and
I'm
be
thinking
justified.
of like, if I told
Luke is thinking
Let's let him tell us what he's thinking.
Yeah,
he knows the best.
It makes you hypocritical for you to tell other people not to do certain things, and then you do them yourself, and you justify them because of the situation. Now, I know that this stuff is more complicated because, like, well, it's different situations are different things. This situation is different than other situations. I'm saying how? What makes it different? And it's like, well, because one, you purposely put yourself in, and the other you accidentally found. And it's like, well, what if you accidentally found out that all these mafia members had money in this bank, and so then you robbed the bank? Is that okay?
Luke, it depends.
It depends. No, I'm not saying it's okay. Everything really depends, though. We make decisions based on our circumstances, and everything is based on whatever the circumstance is. So that's why we all make different decisions, because we all have different circumstances.
And I think ethics. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's why Michael was saying it's a situational case by case thing. Is because, well, it depends on what my circumstances are in that moment. I could rob one bank today with a different circumstance and a different intent than if I robbed a bank 5 years from now. But they're still the same thing. But why am I robbing the bank?
Mm-hmm. And it's not always the intent, but I think you can also look at things like you look at it like the cost.
Well, I'm saying that's how you can tell someone who's doing the same thing as you. Okay, like, I don't think you should steal this thing, but
it definitely gets hairy. Like, cause
what about this? Let's try this.
Stealing is a little.
You guys know.
I was about to say, I kind of agree with you.
You guys know what a straw man is, where you basically build up someone's argument as a weak argument, like a weak version of their argument, and you burn it down, right? Yes. A steel man is the opposite, where you try and defend someone's argument. Can you guys steel man what my argument is right now?
No, because it's stupid. No, I'm just kidding. I got you.
No, because it's made of straw.
So, all right, you're saying that if you rob this bank, or no, if you take this money that this lady, you practically steal this woman's money that she wants to burn. Okay, and then someone else comes to you, or you find out, or whatever, and they're trying to rob a bank, and you're like, oh man, like I have a responsibility to stop them or to tell them that this is wrong, but I feel like I can't because I've done a similar thing, right? Mm-hmm. So that'd be like a parent telling their kid, like, hey, don't smoke, and they're smoking like as they're telling them that, or they just smoked the other day. It's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
But
yes,
so that's not. That makes sense. That's not wrong.
This is more about the soul than it is about like what's the greater good. Because like, well, on the surface, it'd be better to take the money and give it to someone who needs it. But I'm thinking about from your soul in terms of like living your correct life and making the right decision. How is this the right decision? By like looking internally, how do you justify other than like?
Wait. Let me ask a question. Let me change the circumstance that's going on, but that still correlates to what we're talking about.
Okay.
I feel like this is very similar to if you knew there was someone who has a child, right? They say, I'm going to kill my child. Do you take the child to save the child, or do you let that person kill that child? Because if you take the child, it's kidnapping. How do you justify that?
Okay, here's how I justify it. Because I've also made a rule that I don't let other people murder other people because murder is worse than kidnapping. So I do the worse evil to stop the greater evil.
Okay.
So is burning your money evil?
It's not necessarily evil, but
Okay, well then take away the murdering aspect. That might be a little.
No, I think that was a good argument because I mean, like Luke just said, he would do a less evil thing to prevent a greater evil. Like if all right, so say let's put some stakes because there were no stakes on the question before. There's stakes on Shayne's question. Say your mom is sick and she's in the hospital with like hundreds of thousands of dollars in medical bills, and you guys can't pay it. Would you steal the money and help your mom get better?
And to know that your grandma will be healthy and happy again.
Your grandma, your mom, whichever matriarch.
Grandma makes it a little more meaty, you know.
Right. But I mean, like, couldn't you say that same argument for justifying the whole Breaking Bad show? Where it's like, well, he sold drugs.
I never saw it.
But it's
Spoilers.
like, I'm not gonna tell you the ending or anything.
Doesn't
But
after
it's like
5 years.
he sell. Yeah, you're too late. But it's like,
limit on spoilers.
wait, you never saw the show? It's so good. So he justifies selling drugs because the people who are doing drugs are already doing drugs. They're gonna get drugs from somebody else anyway. So it might as well be from me, and then I can make money and give it to my family who's never done drugs. Right. So all the bad people get what's coming to them, and then I profit, and then my family is safe. And it's like, yeah, but then you lose your soul. Like you give up your ethics.
Because the situation he gets into
you
is
say
way
they're different,
deeper.
but I also don't think that they're that different. They might technically be different,
they're just
but
different
they're not.
Conceptually, they're the same, but
conceptually, I don't think they're that different.
Well, yeah, but conceptually, it doesn't affect the world. Concepts don't
they're
affect your
conceptually
life.
different.
The situations affect your life. Like this guy, he's getting into drugs. He's getting like involved with shady people. He's getting involved with multiple people, so he's got more chance of getting caught and making more negative things happen. He can possibly hurt his family by doing this because people will come after his family.
Yeah, but I could say the same about like if I'm gonna give this money to the hospital and pay for my mom's medical bills, we could get caught. Like things like the stake. You're just measuring the height of the stakes, saying it all depends on the height of the stakes.
That's exactly what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying, and that's a good argument.
So you're saying it's that the ethics of this only come in with the risk involved with the stakes.
No, but that's something you have to consider. You consider.
I don't think
you have to consider it. Sure.
You consider who gets hurt, who doesn't get hurt. Like if, all right, so say this. If I'm doing something, what I'm thinking about is, like, is this going to benefit anybody? Is this going to hurt anybody? Like, is this something that if I get caught, it's really bad? Is there a chance I'll get caught? Is there, like, there's lots of things you can think about. Like, it's more than, there's not just two factors. There's like tons of factors. Also, I have to think about will I be okay emotionally if I do this? Because I'll definitely probably feel guilty. I feel like I have a pretty strong conscience. I feel really bad if I mess up, if I hurt someone's feelings or whatever. Like maybe for me, maybe I won't be able to take it, but I know that like I could come up with a plan to do it in a way that I probably won't get caught, or I can like use this money to help people, and to me that outweighs that. Because ethics is more than just like your principles, but it's literally situational. It's just like the stealing food for your family thing. Like, yeah, stealing is terrible, but would you rather let your family die?
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
I'm done now.
Yeah,
it's what's worse.
Yeah,
what's worse to live with?
Here's, I guess, my viewpoint. I think it's way cooler for me to jump onto this podcast and go, hell yeah, I'd take the money. Pff, screw them, the stupid old people with their dumb money trying to burn their money. That's dumb. I'm gonna steal the money, and I wouldn't even feel bad. I could be really cool and say that, but I'm trying to think about it at another level, because if you took a lot of people that have done things that we think are unforgivable and awful, they usually had some sort of greater good thing that they were doing in their head. Mm-hmm. So the problem is that when we sit here and justify it, it's like, yeah, but that's like what every single monster does ever with these sorts of things. And so I'm trying to think about like what distinguishes us from those monsters, because they're doing exactly what we're doing right now.
That's not true. They're not doing exactly what we're doing right now. But
they're
doing
not talking on a podcast right now, but they're doing
I'm not
like
saying that.
They're doing stuff where they justify it because of the greater good.
There are also principles and lines that you shouldn't cross. It's good to have them. Like murder, I think, is like a thing you should never cross. And I guess like a line for me would be, I wouldn't murder anybody unless they were like literally about to murder someone I loved or hurt someone I cared about.
Right, but that's a greater good, because it's like they're going to hurt someone who's innocent, so I'm going to kill them.
Right.
Because I'm going to protect them.
Someone's going to waste something that lots of people could use.
There's got to be a line.
And give it to them.
We haven't defined like what that line is, other than like, well, if it seems bad enough, then it's fine.
Well, every situation has different lines, Luke. You can't make blanket rules
I know,
for anything.
but when does it cross that line? Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Okay, when does this situation cross this line?
It does, Luke. It does make sense what you're saying but it's hard to give a general answer because it's a situational thing. It's like, okay, well, when me crossing a line in a situation, say like for instance, if like say like we're all like in relationships, right? I'm not in a relationship, whatever. Say like we're all like in a relationship and we're all like having difficulties in our relationships. Me crossing a line in my relationship is different from you crossing a line in your relationship. That's different from Michael crossing a line in his relationship. So when it's crossing the line in a relationship, well, it depends on your relationship, which is situational based on the circumstances of your relationship, which is an individual experience. So you cannot give a general
so
thing.
what you and Michael are both saying is that all situations have different factors, and so it's difficult to set one rule for everything. I get that.
I don't think you should do that. I think that limits you as a human being to react in the moment.
Might have a situation where I have to lie. That's some extreme situation. It could exist, but I'm saying in general, the rule that I follow is this. And so it's possible that the situation you came up with is just like an exception to most of these rules. Is that?
Yeah, that's why it's a weird.
That's where the line is that it's an exception, you know? I don't know. I'm just trying to get it like.
Well, that's why it's ethics, because it's not always. Yeah, there are exceptions to rules all the time. And everything. Like oh yeah, we need to have beams 16 inches apart.
For instance,
in a wall. Except for
Luke,
when you have a beam 16 inches apart, then there's only 4 inches left of wall, so you have a 4-inch space. That happens.
But that's still a rule.
Yeah, Luke.
Yeah,
Luke, just to keep it with the current example that we have, if this were not this particular circumstance, I would not take someone's money. I would never steal someone's money. I found a wallet the other day that had like $500 in it, like 3 credit cards, a debit card, and it was right next to my car. I could have just easily took it, got right back in my car, drove off, had a great time, paid off all my bills, lived my very best life, right? Could have done that, but I'm not a thief. I don't believe in that because I wouldn't want someone to do that.
Right, and it's selfish and it's stealing. So what happens if you saw that same person, he was driving this expensive sports car and had millions of dollars a week, and then you looked over and saw a homeless person who was a child, or something like that, like a homeless person with a child that could easily benefit from the $500 that he would never miss.
Mm-hmm. Oh, if he dropped it, I would give it. I would take it and give it to him. Because it would been like.
Are you saying if I found that wallet, then I saw
you got the wallet in your hand, and then you're walking out and you see the guy, he's driving a Ferrari. His parents are giving him. They're like, "Oh, you lost $500. No. Here's $1,000. It's fine. We just give you endless amounts of money, so he won't even miss the $500." And then you look over and you see a homeless person with a child, and now you've got that $500 in your hands. What do you do now?
No, I don't give it to the child because I don't believe in giving other people stuff. That's not my money to give.
But that's the same concept with the original example that Michael.
No, it's. Okay, listen. It is, but no, it's not. It's different
because this guy lost something, and this other woman was throwing something away. Okay, follow this. All right, people throw away like TVs and furniture all the time, right? They want it to go in the trash. I take the TV and I go home and I watch it.
But what's the difference? Fine. She would care if she found out that you didn't burn the money.
First of all, how's she going to find out? This sounds terrible, but how is she going to find out?
Well, sure, that's the argument you could use, but there is a difference.
The difference is...
Because she... Hold up, let me just say this. Like, she entrusted you with the money for it to go to a specific place for whatever sentimental reason she had. She gave the money to you to do that. She trusted you to do that, and you're not doing it.
Okay, Luke,
that's different from stealing someone's TV that they threw away.
This will help your question then. All right, so say instead of cremating them, you buried them with the money. So there's a chance that they could find out. I think that goes more to what you're saying because, like, yeah, like I might feel bad. It might not be bad. Like, it might not be right ethically to like take the money, but there's also really no consequences. The only consequences are really within yourself. If you mess up and you get caught, or you feel guilty and you can't handle it, But say like there's a chance that she can go back to the grave and like dig it up for whatever reason, and
LOL.
the money's not in there. Then
The thing I think that it comes down to is it's your word.
I have something to say that I think I'm kind of seeing what Luke is trying to say or what he's saying.
He's trying. So I try.
Well, no, because I think we're all in the same boat. Pun intended.
All right, the podcast is over.
I think because what you said about her saying for a sentimental reason made me think, okay, but see that again depends on the circumstances. What Michael presented was this lady's husband died. He has $1 million. She wants it to burn with him because that's what he wanted. And that's all the information we're given. Yeah, of course I'm going to take the money. That's an easy thing. Now, if I'm working at the morgue and this lady comes in with this sad story and she's emotional and she's like, you know, I loved my husband. We were together for 60 years or something, and gave me this whole fiasco, and then was like his dying wish was to be burned with this $1 million because it was his first $1 million he ever made or something dramatic like that. Yeah, I'm probably going to do what the lady wants because like that's going to be in my heart, and I'm like, oh, I can feel that. But if it's just random lady's like, yeah, burn my husband with this money. No, I'm taking your money because that's stupid. Yeah, if you give me the circumstance of this is an emotional backstory, this is like Rose from the Titanic, then I'm like, okay, I can feel you. I can understand that. I'll burn your money.
The thing is, it's like
then I would feel bad if I took it.
Right, she's trusting you to burn the money. You said you would burn the money. Your job is to do it. Now, I get it. It's like, okay, well, maybe there's certain times when you shouldn't do your job. Right, but
yes,
I'm just saying it's a little tricky. Now, I
I
know what I'm saying. Right,
circumstance.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying it is because I know the cool thing and the funny things. Be like, yeah, screw her. I'd take the money because I think I would probably, but it's also a little harder for me to say that confidently. I would take the money because it's also the thing too that makes it a little harder is respecting the dead. It's like
I'm not doing anything to the dead. The dead's the same either way.
Take it as money.
I guess that's true. But
you know,
his wife basically threw it in the trash. So
yeah, that's what makes it hard too. Because it's like, is it taking the money because the money is?
You think you're haunted forever?
When I first thought about it, Luke, my knee-jerk reaction was to say, no, I wouldn't take that money. That'd be wrong and weird. But the more I thought about it, the more it made sense to take it because I could do so much more good with the money. Even if I feel guilty about it, I can actually do a lot of good in my community. I could like buy my parents a house.
And honestly,
I could, like buy my church. Like my church has tons of outreach. We could do so much more outreach if I had $1 million
with blood money.
No, it's not blood money. I didn't kill anybody for it.
I know, but it's the same sort of concept.
It's
like money that
tainted
is
money.
It's
dirty
money.
The pastor jokes all the time. It's like you shouldn't play the lottery, but if you do, just give us your tithe. Like. They'd be fine with it.
But you know, if you do, help us out.
My church does not condone stealing and
help
gambling.
a brother out.
But you know, like if you think about it, obviously there's tons of angles. I promised myself I wouldn't speak fast on this episode. I'm trying to slow down. I can't even understand it sometimes.
It was rough. This is a topic that's hard not to get excited about.
Yeah,
it's a good question.
I think of this. And also, thank you. I asked my sister's boyfriend this question, and he was just like, "I wouldn't take it because it's wrong." And I was like, "You're so boring." Anyway, I love you guys. But there's so much good you can do with the money that outweighs, I think, the bad. Even if I got arrested, if I could put the money in my community, just spending it in my neighborhood would greatly benefit my neighborhood.
I think more good would come than bad, and I can live with that. And I would just ask for forgiveness, and if I felt like I needed to.
Yeah, like there's a lot that goes into it, even past yourself. And I know, like I said, people, you've used these kind of things to justify lots of things. But this is something that's different. I'm not, like, if I was to go, like, oh, I think this, like, family might try to kill these people, I should kill them first. That's really tricky. But that's also not the same as this situation. It's in the same realm. It's the same kind of question. But it is not this question. Shayne, tell me what you feel.
Well, it might go off into a whole nother tangent. So I was going to comment on the whole killing people thing. But I was like,
let's say that for another podcast.
Yeah, I was like, never mind. That's a different conversation.
Yeah.
You're not going to tell us what you feel?
I was just gonna say, because you guys both were like, oh, I would kill the person who's trying to like kill the other person. I'm like, well, my initial, obviously I don't know because I've never had this experience before, so this is just me going off of pure thought. But I would probably, like, my initial thought wouldn't be I need to kill this person. My initial thought is I need to defend and get this person who's being harmed to a safe place or out of the danger of this person. That's how I would react to it. I don't think I would ever react to killing someone unless they were like right with a gun right in their face about to kill them. Then it's like, okay.
Yeah,
then then that's a different story. Yeah.
Well, it'd be like if the safe place wasn't an option.
But again,
I go to the police, and then it's like can't do that.
Yeah.
That's where,
okay, then I go get them myself. Can't do that.
I'm just saying I wouldn't want to go into it with the thought of I'm going to harm this other person just to keep this person safe. I'm like, if I can keep this person safe without necessarily harming this other person, then I'm going to try to do that first.
That is kind of a direct correlation to this question, because it's like, if I could get this money without stealing it, that would be ideal. And it's like, well, you can't. Right. You have to steal it.
Yep.
I mean, I could ask her, but hey,
and she says no.
Instead of burning
I feel
this,
like if I asked and she said no, I probably would not take the money.
Well, yeah, because then you feel bad.
Well, also then if I do take the money, she knows that I took it. That's like, she might check in that case.
How could she check? I just don't know how does that work.
She might ask people, hey, has this guy come up with any more money?
Hey, does this guy have any money?
If
you're incriminating yourself if you ask.
If she does that, she needs a life. If she does that, go crochet or something.
That's right. Go die. You're old.
It's kind of like
asking people
for permission.
We said die. Podcast's over.
Over.
What were you gonna say?
It's like it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. Like if you want to go, like I want to stop at Taco Bell on the way home, but my mom would probably say no. It's like, well, I'll just do it, and then if she finds out, I'll say, oh, sorry, I didn't think to ask you or something like that. Like
yeah.
I've actually had so many moments like that, but like back in the day.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, it's like if you ask her, then she'll watch you do it. And
exactly.
so if you ask her, it's like then all bets are off.
Right.
Then you definitely don't get the money.
If you don't ask her, then there's gray area. Like, I mean, just practically, not necessarily ethically, but practically you could get away with it. It's a better situation.
Right.
Yeah. So what would you do with the money, Shayne?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I would pay off like my student loans and all like my excess amount of bills and things that I have. And then honestly, I'd probably do a lot of stuff for like my mom that she needs to get done. That
See, Luke,
she's
all
procrastinating.
those good things he's doing with
more like probably more like stuff for family stuff. And then obviously I probably would buy equipment and things that I need for myself or whatever.
Yeah.
But probably mainly really family stuff or things with the different organizations or things that I work for. I probably wouldn't really use most of it on like myself, besides like paying off debts and bills and stuff.
Yeah. I'd try to buy my mom a sweet house. I try to donate as much as I can to charity. Probably buy a really nice guitar and not work for a while and play music everywhere.
I think the thing about it though is like I think you would feel some guilt.
Get it produced.
Some people would feel more than others.
No.
And so it's like you're trying
to
buy away the guilt. Like, well, I gave it to charity and like I did this for them and I bought my mom a stuff, and it's like you would try to purchase back your soul in a way by doing good things.
I don't know if it would affect me that deeply, like
I don't
my
know.
soul. I feel like it would feel in peril, but I definitely would want to justify it or balance it out by doing good things with it, because that changes what you did also. Like, yeah, you stole this, but if you use it for good, that's better than if it is objectively better than if I just took it and just spent it on myself.
Right.
Because
I'm not even thinking about this in terms of like religion. I'm just saying when I say your soul, I mean, I think that people can lose their soul by doing the wrong thing. And that's what happens to evil people. It's like they make sacrifices and give up little things here and there. And then before you know it, it's like, whoop. Now before you know it, you're the villain, you're the bad guy. And you don't know how it happened. And it's like, because you just made these little decisions little by little before you knew it, you know?
And you could definitely fall into that. But I don't think one decision could take you there, but one decision starts you going there. So you would have to be careful.
I think it would depend on like,
I don't think one decision.
But I feel like one big decision would have been led up to by a bunch of small decisions.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never stolen anything before, but I probably would steal that money.
But maybe you've justified little things here and there over time. You know, like little wrong things here and there.
Yeah, I mean,
and you weren't, and you lied to yourself. Happens. Like you're like, no, it was justified. No, I lied to them, but it was justified. Like, oh no, I wasn't fair to this person, but I lied to myself and made myself believe it. And then
I stopped doing that. I tell myself that was wrong. Yeah, you definitely shouldn't have done that. Let's not do that again.
I definitely think I do that subconsciously sometimes. Like I'll do something that wasn't very thoughtful or like something kind of dumb, and I'll try to like oh well, at least this happened because of it or whatever. Like you totally do try to justify. You
basically tell yourself the lie that what you did wasn't wrong.
Right.
And I don't know. I've been thinking about this stuff a lot lately, so that's why I have
circumstantial still.
Yeah. All right, guys, we got to wrap up this episode. I think that was a good little conversation. Thanks for the question, Michael. It was interesting. Yeah, okay, Michael, do you have any things you'd like to plug?
Just follow me on the Instagram, Michael Dimas, MykolDimas, and you can see everything I do on there.
Sweet.
That's it.
Shayne.
Woo! Check out the Pop Talk podcast on iTunes and SoundCloud, and then you can check us out on the Instagrams and whatnot at pop_talk_, and then you can follow and talk to me at Mr. McCatty, MrMCCATTY, and that's on Instagram and Twitter as well.
Ooh. Oh yeah.
Okay, you can follow our podcast at WAITSB Podcast. That's where we will be posting. What?
Oh, I just forgot to say, I got invited to be on another podcast. So
cool.
When I get some more information about that, stay tuned. I'll let you guys know where you can check
Shayne's
that
all over
out.
The place.
And then too, I'm going to be on the radio next month.
What?
As well. Or the end of this month? I think the end of this month. I'm going to be on the radio, so stay tuned for those cool things. When I have more information about these things, I will definitely share.
Shayne.
Yes.
Hey, plug this podcast. Do it.
Sure. Potentially. Yeah.
But I don't know, Luke, because if he does that, then he's taking advantage of them, and that could lead him to taking advantage of more people in the future.
LOL. No,
taking advantage. They literally are going to be like, "Do you have anything you'd like to advertise?" Oh hell yeah, I'm.
Well, no, yeah, they've already said
it's not like he's going to be sneaky. Like it's like they're live, and he's like, "Check out this podcast."
Right.
Dragging him away. He's like,
just look it up.
Quick!
They've already told me this. They've already told me there's gonna be time for like us to.
Oh yeah.
Basically plug our own stuff and whatnot. I'm wearing like my Pop Talk shirt there. I'm gonna have like it's gonna be great.
In other words, shut up, Michael. You've heard from enough from you already. All right. You can check us out at WAITSB Podcast on Instagram. You can follow us on there and send us questions, DM us, whatever it is that the kids say these days. You can also follow me on Instagram at Luke Roxwold. That's LUKEROCKSWOLD. I would love to get people to follow me because I'm posting a lot and people really like my pictures. You might too. Follow me on there. Awesome. Guys, thanks for being on the podcast. It's a good topic. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let us know what you think about this question. Send us a message on Instagram, WAITSB Podcast. Thanks, everyone. And
now it's time for the outro music.
Outro music.